Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I do hope that you are all feeling really well, life is good, and you're ready to practice. Let's begin today's practice in child's pose. So come on over onto your knees. Bring the big toes to touch and take the knees a little wider than hip distance. And coming up onto the fingertips, start to reach the arms out in front. Now, if the forehead doesn't come down onto the ground, just support the head maybe on a block or a blanket. Just slowly begin to bring your awareness onto your breath, lengthening each inhalation and deepening every exhalation. As you breathe in and you breathe out through the nose. Ujjayi breath. Along with the Ujjayi breathing, there is a subtle lock of your abdominal muscles, just gently drawing the lower belly in towards the spine, as well as a gentle lifting of the muscles of the pelvic floor, creating Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. At the end of your next exhalation, let's just slowly come on up onto our hands and our knees. Breathing in here, let the belly dip and the head and the tailbone lift. Exhale as you round. Inhale, pulling the heart space through the arms. Exhale and round. 2 more cycles, breathing in. Spine extends. Exhale and round. And one last time. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the spine back to neutral. Then once again, take the knees a little wider. Back onto the fingertip lift. And back into child's pose. Just notice how your body is feeling today and the qualities of your mind. What are you bringing with you onto the mat on this given day? And then again, spread the fingers, root the palms down. Let's come on up onto our knees. Again, bring the knees in a little closer, tuck the toes, and then breathing out, lifting the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Now just take those moments in your downward facing dog. If you need to just stretch out the backs of the legs or drop your hips a little from side to side just to release the hips and the side body. And if the hamstrings are feeling really stiff and tight today, why not just bend your knees and lift the heels? And then gazing forward, we're going to step the right foot through to the right hand and lower the left knee onto the ground. And then from there, coming into low lunge position. We'll bring the left arm up, the Gomukhasana arms, bring the left hand behind the back. And then bring the right hand up the back and just go ahead and swim that right hand up. And maybe your fingers meet. Maybe they don't. Maybe you grab a belt to make that meeting, or maybe you just create the shape. Left elbow pointing up towards the sky. Just widen here across the right collarbone. Gentle lift of the heart. Navel pulling in. And then exhaling, releasing those arms. Bring the hands down either side of the right foot. And then shift the left hip back over the knee. Straighten the right leg coming into half splits. Right heel digs into the mat. And slowly, gently folding forward and down. Relax the shoulders here, down and away from your ears. And then we'll inhale here, lifting up half of the way, and then exhale, Step the right foot back down, coming into lunge. Let's tuck the left toes under and then make our way into high lunge. Again, just come onto a fingertip lift with the left hand and breathing in, reach the right arm up into the sky, crescent twist. Just drop that right sit bone down a little bit more and then lift the left hip and thigh away from the floor. And as you breathe out, bring in both hands down. And then inhale and step that right leg back and coming into plank pose. Feel free to drop the knees onto the mat. Otherwise, spread the fingers and press down around the palm of the hand. Keep the core active, the pelvic floor muscles lifting. Tailbone gently lengthening, I should say, not lifting, but lengthening towards the heels. Reach out through the heels and the crown of the head. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back, coming back into downward facing dog. Breathing in, step the left foot forward. Exhale, lower the right knee down. And then coming up into low lunge. Reaching the right arm above the head. Let's drop the right hand behind the back. And then bring the left hand up the back. And again, just swim that left arm up. Often you find here in these Gomukhasana arms that we can sometimes get one side and not the other side. That's okay. Widen across the left collarbone, reach the right elbow up towards the sky. Lift the heart center. Another deep breath in. And then breathing out, release the hands. And then moving the hips back and straightening the left leg. Good. As you breathe in here, lengthen the spine. And then exhale as you fold. Just feeling there through the back of the left leg. And breathing in, lift the chest. Step the left foot back down and lift the right knee up, coming up into high lunge. Then just place the finger pads of the right hand into the floor. Breathing in, press out through the right heel, lengthen the spine. And then exhale here again as you twist open to the left. And we just drop that left seat a little lower, but lift the right thigh a little higher. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And just keeping the breath nice and steady. Good. On your next exhalation, bring the left hand down. Stepping the left leg back, coming into plank pose. And just holding the plank position. Haven't noticed as you hold the plank how everything facing the ground is in this contraction. So like the chest, core, the legs are tightening. Take another deep inhale here. And then exhale, lower the knees down. Okay, point the toes back and then just align the hips over the knees. Again, come up onto a fingertip lift. Just take your hands towards the corners of the mat. Melt the heart space here between the arms as you just release into puppy pose. You can stay here resting on the forehead, or you can bring the chin and maybe the chin and the chest onto the ground. Taking 2 more cycles of breath here. And at the end of your next exhalation, press into the finger pads, lift the chest, and then come all the way down and onto your belly. We'll just slide the hands back down by the midribs. Breathing in, lifting up through cobra. And then exhale as you slowly lower down. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, on or off your knees. Press up, plank pose. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then this time we're going to step the right foot about 3/4 of the way up the mat. I'd say about 4 or 5 inches behind the right hand. Turning the entire right foot out to the right and drop onto the pinky toe side of that left foot. And then inhale, variation side plank. Take that right arm up into the sky. Taking a nice deep breath in here. And then as you breathe out, just let that outer left hip lower just towards the ground to get that really lovely stretch there through the left side body. Press down and inhale, lift up. Exhale, gently dip that left hip towards the ground. And then one more time. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale and dip down. Breathing in here as you lift up. And then exhale, placing the hands down. Let's step that right leg back now, downward facing dog. And changing sides, step the left foot 3/4 of the way up the mat. Turn the entire left foot out to the left. And then again on the knife edge of the right foot, take the left arm up into the sky. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Use the support of the shoulder blades here. Take a breath in and then breathing out. Slowly dipping that right hip towards the floor. And then press down, rebound up. Inhale. Exhale. Dip the hip. Good. Inhale. Lift up. One more. Exhale. And dip the hip. And then inhale. Lift up. Exhale, left hand down and step the left leg back. Downward facing dog. Slowly with the breath, breathing in, coming forward into plank pose. Breathing out on or off your knees, chaturanga. Moving into up facing dog on the breath in and taking it back into downward facing dog on the breath out. Inhale, step the right foot all the way to the right hand. Stay on the ball of the back foot here. And then rising up into high lunge. Moving the tailbone in, reaching the arms up. Like we did in the twist, again, just sit down into that right hip. Whilst lifting the back of that left thigh and the left knee. And just rest your right hand on top of the right thigh. We'll take a side bend. Breathing in, reach the left arm up towards the sky and then exhale. We'll stretch over here to the right. Float the right arm back up, coming back up into lunge. And then from lunge to chair pose, Utkatasana. Take a big step, left foot forward. Sink down into the hips, keep the arms lifted, the chest lifted. Weight a little bit more into the heels. One more breath, you've got this. And then exhale, straighten the legs and fold forward and down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathing in, lifting up halfway and lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands, step back and lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, breathing in. And downward facing dog on the breath out. Inhale here, step the left foot through to the left hand. And stay on the ball of the back foot. And then rising up. Just be mindful here that the knees staying in line with the hip. Sit down a little bit deeper into the left seat. And then lift the back of that right knee and thigh. And then lift the arms. The band is engaged. The gaze nice and soft. Just fixed onto one spot. And bring the left hand onto the left thigh. Breathing in, reach the right arm up. Exhale, stretch over with the right arm. And then raising both arms again back up. Inhale. Okay, pull the navel in. Push off the back foot.
Come back into Utkatasana. Draw the tailbone slightly in, the navel to the spine. And then exhale. Straighten the legs, folding forward and down. Uttanasana. Forward bend. Inhaling, lifting up halfway. Exhale as you bow. Breathing in, stepping back to plank. Exhale through Chaturanga. Upward dog, shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. And from here, look forward, step the right foot forward in between the hands. Spin and drop the left heel onto the floor. And coming into Trikonasana, it's going to start to straighten that right leg. Move the right hip back towards the left heel. So as you're doing that, you're going long through that right side body. So you want to create lots of space between your right hip and your right armpit. So you might have to find that by also bringing your right hand up a little bit higher, maybe onto a block or onto the shin. Turn the navel and the heart towards the sky and then extend that left arm up. Maybe take the gaze up with you here. And then whilst here, again, just feel the support of your shoulder blades. Just kind of shrug the shoulders down and away from the ears, so you're gently kind of hugging them in towards the spine. Good. From here, we'll start to bend into the right knee, step back a couple of inches on that left leg, and then moving into side angle pose from your triangle. So often the legs just need to be a little bit longer in side angle. Hug the right knee towards the right elbow, or modify and rest the right elbow onto the right knee. Press into the outside edge of the left foot there. Draw that left thigh bone back and reach right through to the left fingertip. Breathing in, reach the left arm up. Exhale, hand to hip. Moving into Ardha Chandrasana. So if you're using the block, just bring it with you. Reach the right arm out in front, balancing on the right leg. Let's lift the left leg up here just to hip height. And then again, maybe take the left arm up towards the sky. And then you can advance that again just by either looking straight ahead or looking up to the tip of the left thumb. You keep working and using that support of your shoulder blades on the back body. Take one more cycle of breath here. Good, and then exhale, bring the left hand down, swing the left foot down next to the right foot. Breathing in, lifting up halfway and lengthen your spine. Exhale as you bow. Breathing in, step or lightly jump to plank. And exhale, Chaturanga. Upward dog, inhaling. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Taking a nice deep breath in and out. Trikonasana, left leg, step the left foot to the left hand. Spin and drop that right heel down. As you start to straighten the left leg, draw that left hip, that left sit bone back towards the right heel. Begin to spiral the navel and the heart towards the sky. And reach up with the right hand. Left hand roots down, right arm reaches up. And just shuffle back a couple of inches on the right foot as you bend into the left knee and then transition into side angle. Reach the right arm long over the head. And just releasing, breathing, stretching into that right side body. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, bring the hand into the hip, transitioning into half moon. Step the right foot in, reach the left arm out, lift the right leg. Just be mindful that right leg isn't swaying back behind the hip. So if you were to look down your body, you would just see your right toes in your kind of like peripheral vision. So again, we can take this pose and advance it by, again, just simply shifting the gaze. If you want to make your own expression in the posture, you can do poet's pose, lift the left hand off the floor, place it in front of the chest. You could also take Ardha Chandra Chapasana, grabbing hold of the back foot. Today, I'm just going to stay nice and steady and still in the half moon. And exhale, bring the right hand down, squaring off the right hip. Step the right foot down next to the left foot. Breathing in, lifting up halfway. Exhale as you fold. And this time, inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Taking the gaze over your shoulder, take a nice big step out with your foot. So just coming into wide angle forward bend. So feet or toes, I should say, facing forward. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Just going to inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, hands to hips. All the shoulders open as you breathe in. Oh, lift the heart. Exhale, fall forward and down. Placing the hands shoulder distance onto the mat. Fingers spread. Your hands are just as active here as your feet are. Fingers spreading, toes spreading. Palms pressing down, four corners of the feet pressing down. Arches lift, palms lift. Elbows move in, shoulder blades down the back. Neck really long. As though the crown of your head is being called towards the mat. Hollowing out the lower belly, again with your Uddiyana Bandha, the navel pulling in. 2 more deep breaths here. And then just place the hands under the shoulders. Inhaling, lifting up halfway. Exhale, hands to hips. And then breathing in. Let's come all the way up to standing. And exhale. Just release your arms by your side. One more. Let's go into variation C. Hands at the heart. Breathing in. Arms out wide. Exhale. Interlace the fingers. Or you could use your strap. Breathing in. Lift the chest. Exhale. Lift the chin. Fall forward. Draw the navel in. Just let the arms fall away from the lower back. If you're working with straight legs, just be mindful the weight is coming that little bit more forward towards the ball of the feet and the toes. And in this way, that will stop you from locking out your knees. You can always bring the heels of the hands together here, just to, again, deepen the sensations across the chest. Neck nice and long. And the breathing here, nice and easy. Couple more cycles of breath. The type of inversion, they're great. You know, your world's just feeling all a bit like, oh, what is going on? Like here, as I fall forward, I get a little bit woozy because I'm like, ooh, the sea is the sky is the sea. Good. Draw the navel in, press down through your feet, and inhale, coming all the way up. Ooh, exhale. A little head rush. Release the arms down. Nice. Let's turn the right toes to the top of the mat, and then let's take a big step back to the top of the mat here, coming into Samastitihi. Here, bringing the hands to the heart. We'll inhale, reach the arms wide and up. Exhale, Uttanasana, so full vinyasa. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga Dandasana, low push-up. Exhale. Upward dog, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. Looking forward in between the hands, just come onto your seat and bring the soles of your feet together. And then just work your sit bones back. So unlike Baddha Konasana, bringing the heels in towards the pelvic floor, give yourself a bit more space between your heels and your pubis. Right, come forward, interlace the fingers around the toes, coming into Tara Asana, star pose. So as you inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, bring the elbows in front of the shins. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, allowing the upper back to round as you bring your forehead to rest down on your feet. And again, don't worry if you're not quite there. You could always place a block on your feet and also rest your forehead onto a block. Again, just keeping the bandhas engaged. We'll take 3 more deep breaths. The end of your exhale, slowly releasing and calming on up. Let's just take hold of the outsides of the knees. We'll bring the legs together. Swing the legs around from there now. And let's come over onto all fours. If you're wearing long sleeves like I am, I'm just going to roll them up above the elbows so my skin is on the mat. Bringing your elbows down underneath the shoulders. Either keeping your palms flat onto the floor, or you could interlace the fingers and just bring your pinky finger inside. So we're just going to set up for a little Pincha Mayurasana, okay, or dolphin pose. So just roll the flesh of the forearms towards the edges of the mat. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Lower ribs and navel slightly pulling in. Tuck the toes underneath and then lift the hips up and back. And lift the heels up really high and then just tiptoe the feet in towards the face. So you're pressing down through the forearms and just take the gaze maybe between your elbows. Press down through the balls of the feet and lift the sit bones towards the ceiling. So the more you're rooting down through the forearms, the more you're going to be able to lift up here. Let's just take 2 more deep breaths here in dolphin. 1 more. And then just tiptoe the feet back. Lower the knees down. And let's just take child's pose, just bringing the hands back towards the feet. All right, let's set up for 1 more of those with possible option there of, the more advanced yogi, maybe practicing kicking up into Pincha Mayurasana. So again, either palms flat and shoulder distance. Yeah, that's if your shoulders are kind of really strong and open and supportive, or interlace the fingers. I go for the interlace of the fingers, have done for many years. Just tuck the pinky finger inside. That's it. And again, roll the flesh of the forearms out to the side. Widen across the collarbones. Draw the navel in, get the core nice and active. Tuck the toes. And then again, lift the hips up. Tiptoeing the feet in towards the face. So this is tricky if your hamstrings are tight. You might end up losing it in your upper back. So you could always just as well bend your knees and lift the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Once you've got the hips stacked over your shoulders, you can take the right leg up into the sky and maybe just gently press off the left foot and just do some like little bunny hops. Yeah, trying to catch a little bit of air. And just be mindful that you don't twist here into that right hip. Now you can practice that for as long as you like. You could also kick up on the alternative leg, but do be mindful, shoulders are very vulnerable in that position. Okay, and then bring the hands back, rest the forehead down and rest back down into child's pose. Good, reaching the arms out in front, tuck the toes underneath and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, now look forward. We'll just add 1 arm balance here as well. Coming into Bhujapidasana. So looking forward, bend the knees, lift the heels, jump the feet around the hands. Okay. Then walk the hands back a couple of inches. Squeeze the elbows in, and then dropping your seat down onto the upper arms. And as you do that, just keep the gaze forward. Step your left foot in towards the center of the mat. And then just bring that right foot in. So your ankles are crossed. Let the seat lower just a little. Keep the bandas engaged, and then see if you can float your feet up off the ground here. Just stay again with a steady gaze and a steady breath. And don't worry if you've rolled back and you've landed on your bum. Yeah, that's all part and parcel of arm balancing. Often we fall and we just either try again or we just laugh it off. 2 more breaths in Bujapidasana. And then releasing the legs, and then just lowering your seat onto the mat. Let's just interlace the fingers and give those wrists a little bit of a roll out or a shake out here. Nice. And from there now we'll come into Dandasana. And taking a twist, we're going to bend the left leg, cross it over the top of the right, and then swinging that right heel back for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Bring the left hand behind the back and hook the right elbow outside of the left knee. Inhale as you lift the breastbone and lengthen the spine, and exhale here as you twist. Good. Inhaling, gazing forward, and exhaling, slowly release the twist. And then changing legs, bending the right leg, swinging that left heel back, hucking the left elbow outside of the right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, lift the breastbone, and exhale as you twist. And again, if it's a little too much, you can just straighten that bottom leg. Breathing in, gazing forward. And then exhaling here and slowly releasing the twist. Good. Leaning back, and then just extending again, both legs here out in front. We'll either come into double pigeon or Sukhasana, crossing the right shin in front of the left shin, or right ankle on top of the left knee. Okay, so your knees are stacked. Knee, ankle, ankle, knee. When you look down in double pigeon, square sit, it looks like square position. Okay, pull the flesh away from the sit bones. Reach the arms out in front. And then from there, breathing in again, just lengthen the spine. And exhale as you fall forward. Jaw relaxed. And breathing deeply into that really juicy stretch to your right hip. And at the end of your next exhalation, slowly come on up and then changing sides. So either crossing left shin in front of right or left ankle on top of knee. Little shuffle around on the sit bones. Bring the arms out in front. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. And then at the end of your next exhalation, slowly drawing yourself back up. And then extending again, both legs here out in front. Paschimottanasana. So again, we'll pull the flesh from underneath the seat, hinging deeply in your hip joint, drawing the navel to the spine. Let's reach forward and grab hold of the big toes. Inhale, just lengthen the spine, lifting up halfway. Remember, try and keep that integrity in the spine here. And then exhale. Maybe you're going to stay here, in this halfway. I always think this is just a wonderful place to be, actually. And again, just some bodies need to go a little bit further in order to feel a nice stretch, good deep sensation through the posterior chain of the body. So try to keep the back of the head in line with the spine rather than letting the head just hang down. Because we do that a lot anyway, don't we, unconsciously in our day-to-day life. And then breathing in, lifting up halfway. Exhale, come all the way up onto your seat. And then from there, just come into a comfortable seated position. So however that shows up for you, half lotus, full lotus, sukhasana, kneeling. Roll the shoulders down and away from your ears. Either rest your hands into your lap or onto your knees with the palms down or the palms up. And allow your eyes to close down. As you close your eyes gently, just sense that you're gazing that space behind your eyes. When you next breathe in, just saying to yourself in your mind, I am not the mind. And when you breathe out, and I am not the body. Every inhalation, I am not the mind. Every exhalation, I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the body. Just continue with the mantra. Feel free to stay here for a few more moments. Just releasing your meditation without too much disturbance. Just lying down onto your back. Shavasana. Now take as long as you need in your relaxation. Just honor this time that you have carved out of your day to practice. If you have a little longer in your day to stay and enjoy and relax, into Shavasana, then please do so. But if you're ready to move on with the rest of the day, whenever you're ready, small movements into the fingers, toes, gentle arm stretch, reach the arms behind you. Bend your knees, slowly roll over onto your side. On your side, slowly drawing yourself up and onto your seat. And just meeting with the hands together, Anjali Mudra at the heart center. We'll take a cleansing breath and we'll complete the practice with one round of Om, inviting that outer world into our inner world. Breathing in and out. Inhale. Slowly bowing your head to your heart. And from my heart space to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you, and namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.